Hello, everyone. About a year ago, I bought something stupid off the internet because it intrigued me. It turns out that you can buy a piñata full of alcohol. And I was curious as to, how did this even work? So I bought it and it came to me. But I forgot something very basic about myself when I bought it. I don't drink. I almost never drink. And the result of that has been nearly over a year later. I still have about half the bottles of alcohol still not drunk. So, it was a personal choice that came by when I was younger. I realized a lot of my anxieties were related to behaviors that were related to drinking. And in particular, I wasn't crazy about how alcohol, causes your inhibitions to lower because I'm a control freak. I'm working on that, but I still wasn't crazy about that. But it made me wonder if my inhibitions are going to lower when I drink, how's that going to affect my knitting? So I'm going to conduct a sort of experiment here, and I'm going to make some swatches of knitting and other crafts to see how being drunk affects it, or how having alcohol affects it. So I've got my knitting swatch right here. This is something I knitted while sober. And then this is something that I crocheted while sober. So I got a baseline. And for laughs, I also did some origami because origami is pretty automatic to me at this point. I've done this slightly longer than I've known how to knit, actually. So I'm just going to stick with 2 drinks. I'm going to stick within the same family of drinks, which with the variety of alcohol that came from the piñata meant, and also compared to the ones that I've already drunk, meant that we're drinking tequila today. These are the 2 I'm going to drink. And I'm also engaging in some responsible drinking behaviors to make sure I'm not completely messed up. So I did have a meal beforehand, or something resembling a meal. And I'm also going to have something resembling a meal afterwards too. I'm doing this on a day where I don't have to go to work the next day, because having to deal with conveyor belts while hungover sounds like absolute hell, especially since I barely tolerate the conveyor belt sober. I'm also leaving my phone on a different floor, because while I'm sure the contacts on my phone would be okay with me contacting them in whatever state, I also have access to the work messaging system, and that we need to stay away from. And I also got some water right by me here that I'm going to be drinking in between the different alcohol, so it has some chance to dilute. I know I'm not the most fun drunk. In the past, when I have drunk alcohol, I realize I just get tired and I get a headache. And looking back, there's not too many situations where alcohol has made the scenario better for me. But I am curious as to how it's going to affect my knitting, because I know that when I drink, it doesn't feel like anything's changed. So I'm curious as to see how that's going to change. So this is how we're going to set it up. I'm going to drink one of the bottles. I'm going to wait about 20 minutes for it to kick in, and then I'm going to attempt the crafts, and then we're just going to rinse and repeat. And then when I'm relatively sober again, I'm going to compare all the different crafts to see what the changes are with like a clearer mind. So let's get started, shall we? All right, so here's the first one. It's gold tequila made with blue agave. No idea what that is. But it's from Mexico. And there's a government warning on it. Which is why we're doing this in a responsible manner. So let's open this up. Oh yeah, it turns out that the way they're able to get like alcohol in a piñata is they put it in plastic bottles. That tastes horrible. Ugh. Well, I might be wondering, hey Becky, why didn't you like do a mixer? Tequila's like in margaritas, right? Like get the sugar water too. And I'm kind of regretting not doing that. Okay. I do not like this. I really do not like that. It's burning. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. The thing says Margaritaville on it. I really should have made a margarita. I really should have looked up a margarita. I have the internet. Why did I not do this? It's kind of too late now. Let me just drink some water. Oh my gosh, it's burning. Fun fact, when I go to restaurants, I usually have like 2 drinks. I usually have like the flavored drink that I'm drinking, and then I have a glass of water without any lemon in it. Because when I was younger, I had anxiety. What if I don't like the drink that I'm drinking? So, and by younger, I mean like 8 years old. So it was like, if I don't like the drink, well, at least I have water, because I know I'll like water. Which ended up being a really good drinking strategy when I got older. I don't want to finish this. I'm like over this already. I'm not even halfway through the bottle. Well, I'm going to attempt to finish drinking the rest of this, and then I'm going to start the timer. Because I think you got enough of a reaction for me drinking this to see how the rest of it is gonna go. See you in a moment. Alright. I chickened out of drinking that whole little bottle. I've only did like halfway, but it's been 20 minutes since my last sip, so I'm going to attempt to knit and then crochet and then fold. So I had 5 stitches and 11 rows. There we go. I didn't bring a row counter up with me. That probably was a mistake. Maybe I should lean back so I'm not like constantly hitting the radio. I probably should have chosen shorter needles. But these are the needles I used to make the first swatch, so now I'm stuck using them. That was my lamp. I'm sorry. I've decided to like separate the different swatches and things that I make, because on my desk there's like this little drawer that has 3 like units in it. So as long as I put them in each unit and I put them in an order, so I remember like which one's sober me and which one is like consumption me. Is that the proper term? I should be able to remember. Sober me's on top, and then it's just going down from there. I forgot what row I'm on. I think it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I'm like halfway there now. I know back when I was like starting to drink, I had this app on my phone that I no longer have called Smule. It's basically like it's like you're playing the piano just by tapping these dots on your screen. So I remember when I was younger, I would like attempt to see like how like out of it I was after drinking by seeing how well I could play a complicated song. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Like 2 more rows left until the swatch is the same size, at least for knitting. I think my first legal drink was like I forget the name of it. It was like a sour lemonade. It had gin in it. I think it was a mixture of gin and sour mix. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't my favorite drink, but I liked it well enough. I mean, I was raised Catholic, so I had my first sip of wine when I had my first communion. Or maybe, I think I had it a little bit before then, maybe. So that'd be like 9? Communion wine isn't that good because they want to preserve, they don't want to add or take anything out of the grape. So the bad stuff stays. But that's not supposed to matter because you're drinking Jesus. That's all that's supposed to matter. You're literally drinking Jesus' blood. The Catholic Church has turned us into cannibals. But consensual cannibals. Okay. So that's the knitting swatch. We're going to try the crochet one now. the knitting needles out of the way. Crochet hook's a bit shorter. I'm thankful for that. Yarn can't run away. Other way. There we go. Yeah, okay. Oh, nope. I mean, I find myself making mistakes, but they are similar mistakes I would make while sober. A lot of the time, if you see me kind of out of it, it's not that I'm under the influence or anything. It's just that I haven't gotten enough sleep. There were like times my freshman year of college where I really gave in to sleep deprivation. It really caused me to become really giggly. Also, being a teenager is just a really weird mindset, you know? You do all sorts of weird things as a teenager. I know one of my roommates came home with like one of those velvet ropes that they used to like guide lines in like fancy theater. She's like, I saw it on the ground and it needed a home, and so I provided it with its home, and we had it hanging up there for a good several months. Also, in my case, like, not that I would have taken a velvet rope from somewhere, unless I knew it was okay to. Which I'm not entirely sure was okay to in her position, but I do lots of crazy things sober that people need to be drunk in order to do. Like, I know another one of my roommates freshman year was, like, shocked that I was saying all the crazy stuff I was saying while still sober. And somehow that made it more unacceptable. Oh, did I make that through? Hope I did. Okay. Oh, something's up there. Let's try that again. It was like splitting the yarn. Okay. That's the crochet swatch. And now it's time for origami. Woo! I have like this stack of papers that I started cutting for an art project, but then I took a different route and now I don't know what to do with the stack of paper. Anyway, time to fold another crane. I could like get really crisp and fold it on the table, but I've done this enough up in the air to know that I don't need it. Still get a very good crane. This paper is also slightly off center anyway, or not quite squared. And I have a bit of a headache now. All right. There we go. You know, that's really an ugly design on this paper. It came as like part of one of these kits where you just get like packs of paper and then they have all the designs pre-printed. Usually if I'll just get like a pack of paper without it being part of a kit, I'll just get plain paper. Because you can do a lot with plain paper, but yeah, this design's really ugly. I mean, the colors kind of go together. It's not really my cup of tea, which is probably why I had a lot of it left. Here we go. That's the crane. And now it's time to go for round 2. Alright, so here's the second bottle. The name of the company is Haha, which the writing is actually in Spanish, which is pretty cool. This is also from Mexico. It also is 100% blue agave, although this calls it agave azul. It has a hashtag on it, which is clearly a 2010s innovation. And it's nice artwork on this bottle. It's the kind of bottle that makes you understand why people keep alcoholic bottles as decor. I should have done that with my right hand. Will this come off? Can I break the seal? Come on. There we go. Oh, I bent the lid. I can bend it back though. Ooh. This seems like one of those like things that I would save when I was younger because it's like a cute little trinket. Like, look how it fits on my thumb, yo. Should I have done that? I don't know. Anyway. Let's give it a shot. It's like it says in English, haha. It's haha. It's like the J in Spanish is pronounced the same as English, so it's still like haha. And this one's white tequila as opposed to gold tequila. I guess white means it's clear. Anyway, let's give it a shot. This one's just as bad. Although, I mean, there's this quote that's attributed to Einstein. I don't know if it's exactly Einstein or not. It says, like, insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. And I mean, it's a different type of tequila. I don't know what I was expecting. Yeah, let's try it again. That's even worse this time. I think the next flavored thing I want to drink is Gatorade. Just like a whole thing of Gatorade. That's it. I don't care what flavor of Gatorade. Fortunately, there's some downstairs. This was a bad idea. I was not expecting that to come out of my nose. Okay. All right. I mean, the thing did say, enjoy the smoothest tequila in the sky. It's sweet and herbal. And it is sweeter than the other one. Not by much, though. The agave really takes over. It's burning. Ugh. I mean, obviously, if I chickened out of the last one, I'm going to chicken out of this one, too. I'm just going to try to make it to the halfway point. And also, I know if I'm going to do this as tequila again, I need to make it in margarita form, obviously. But we don't always think things through on this channel. Okay, that's the halfway point. I am done. I'm like absolutely done. We're just gonna wait another 20 minutes before we attempt it again. All right. Okay, it's been another 20 minutes. Just vibing with the music of Franz Ferdinand there for a while. And we're gonna attempt it again. See how it goes. I do start feeling tired, but I know I can't go to sleep now because I slept in really late today, and then I took a nap after that. So if I were to sleep any more during the hours known as nighttime, it's really going to mess with my schedule. I don't want that for me. I need to be alert when I go on Friday, because Friday is going to be a big day. Surprise big day, but big day. Yeah, back to the first row. You know, I had a gut instinct that I should have done something. When I left work last, it's like, oh, I should have done this thing, and I didn't do the thing, and now I'm kind of regretting that I didn't. It's all right, though. It's likely to be all be the same anyway, and I still have plenty of the resources here. I kind of want to have caffeine, but I also know caffeine kind of spikes my anxiety. But it does make more sense why people put Red Bull in alcoholic drinks now. That's the only way I've ever tasted Red Bull was in a vodka cocktail. It was funny that day. Like, it was after an event. I went home, I took a shower, I got driven back to the place. I was meeting up with a friend from work, but instead I ran into my bosses who were also drinking. I was like, oh, did she invite them too? Turns out, no, she did not. So she found me amidst all of our bosses. Yeah. That only happened once. Because then I only had like 2 drinks, and then I just wanted fries because I started feeling dizzy. And they were going to go somewhere else, and it's like, my human interaction battery is done. I need to sleep. Because with that job, it was after like 8 hours of, hi, how are you? What floor do you want to go on? Just working the elevator, going up and down, which was kind of fun, but there wasn't really any air conditioning in that particular elevator. And also there was no TV. So it was interesting while there were people there, but when there weren't any people there, it's like, I spent a lot of time in elevators in my last job. I also had like a bunch of elevator jokes. Kind of don't remember them now. It was kind of like, I had like 3 or 4 and I can't remember a single one now. Something like, I hope this elevates you. Dum. Where am I? 3, 6, 9, 7. Oh, I think I'm supposed to be casting off this row. Hopefully this raises your spirits up. I hope it's not a letdown. I'm going to stop telling elevator jokes now. I don't want to push any buttons. When I would do it, those like elevator puns with groups of school kids, like most of the time I'd just go like, the adults would laugh though. And the teenagers were like, just telling dad jokes, ew. Anyway, this is the swatch. We're going to try crocheting now. I hope I'm not like slurring my words too much, although I know that's not necessarily like a factor of me being drunk. That's just me in general. I know it can be like an acquired taste to listen to me. And yet somehow I greet bunches of new people. I live a very contradictory life. Yeah. Oh, that is the feeder yarn. Okay. I think that's 6. Yeah. There we go. It's funny that I was drinking tequila after like rewatching The Good Place, where the main character Eleanor is like her signature drink is a margarita. Like she literally dies the first time around by dropping a bottle of margarita mix. Maybe that was influencing me. Who knows? TV influences, like, a lot of what you consume influences, like, how you think. Because ideas are pretty contagious. Oh. Just dropped all the loops there without pulling any of the yarn through. Let's try that again. There we go. There we go. We like that for me. Okay. Now time for the last row on this baby. You know, like 95% of the things that I have called baby in the past year have been inanimate objects. My car is my baby. The conveyor belt's the baby. The trays on the conveyor belts are babies. Yeah, those are the main 3. Okay. There's that swatch. When I was younger, I was like kind of against the idea of calling a significant other baby because it felt like making them an infant, you know, and like I thought like partners should be equals. And while I still think partners should be equals, I think I'm more open to the idea of calling someone baby. Change is a wonderful thing. Semantics are like super weird. Okay. We're gonna fold a crane now. I do have a 1,000 cranes somewhere in this room. I'm too lazy to go get them though. I haven't stood up since I started drinking. I kind of don't want to. I feel like it's going to happen though. I mean, it's inevitable. I can't stay in this chair forever. I got to go to work eventually. Not for another 24 plus hours, but still. I am a lot more likely to go to obligations when there's money involved. Though lots of people probably say same. Okay, I just saw like a pattern and I thought it was like a pattern for one thing, but it's actually the other thing, and the other thing makes more sense. I have a lot of clutter on my desk. It can be somewhat distracting. Some of the clutter is not staying though. Some of the clutter will be cleaned up. Most of it will stay. You know, probably putting myself drunk on the internet could kind of expose me out in public. That might not have been the best idea, but I don't plan on being drunk in public that much anyway. There we go. So there's the crane. Now I'm gonna go sober up. I don't plan on drinking anymore tonight. I'm in the mood to watch a really campy movie, which I'm probably gonna knit through. Still, anyway, I'm gonna check back when I'm sober, and then we can do the comparison to see like how much drinking alcohol affected my crafting ability. See you in a moment. All right, I'm back. I'm at least soberish, if not completely sober. It's been 2 movies. So I think I'm in an all right state of mind to at least judge what I did. So let me take out what I did. So this is sober. After 1 tequila. And after 2 tequila. Okay. With the origami, there's no freaking difference. Sober. 1 tequila. 2 tequila. There is no difference between any of these guys. None. Zilch. Nada. They're all the same. I would say there might be some more difference with the knitting. So this is 1. This is 2. It does seem like the tension is different. I mean, look at it. The one where I was drunk seems tighter and longer. But between the 2 where I was drinking, there's not really any difference. And now I forget which one was which. I think this was the 2 one and this was the 1 one. I mean, there might be some yarn twisting. But the yarn tails are on the same side. And overall, like, they're tight next to each other. And I didn't lose or add any stitches. I think they're like this. Then we get the crochet. So this is sober. Yeah, sober versus 1 drink. No difference in size. At all. They look identical. Yeah, I'm holding sober in this one. Okay. And then we got this one. Yeah, no difference in size. These are all 3. I mean, maybe I didn't bind these off the right way, but that was all 3. Even the sober one. I'm gonna take a picture of this later on so you can see it. Either I didn't drink enough alcohol to affect my crafting skills, or my crafting skills are so embedded in me that even being somewhat impaired doesn't affect that part. I would say probably the amount I was talking was where the alcohol was working instead of my hands. I mean, I've been knitting and doing origami since I was 10. And crocheting improperly since I was 13, 12, 13. I didn't crochet properly until at least 18. Even so, the amount of time I've been crocheting properly, that's about a decade by now. I know I don't look it, but at the time of filming, I'm 28. So that's over 2 decades of knitting. Or no, close to 2 decades of knitting. Not quite over 2 yet. It'll be 2 decades when I'm 30. But, yeah, it didn't affect the origami at all either. Anyway, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.